Hi, this is Jan from Heritage Public Library, and today I'm going to tell you about how to use Microsoft Word to do special effects for your photos. So I will share my screen now and get started. Okay, so we are going to use Microsoft Word, and I've just opened a Microsoft Word here, and this class is advertised as Learn Skills Required to Successfully Move, Resize, Crop, and Edit Your Photos using Microsoft Word. And Microsoft Word is a computer program that's usually used to type out letters and documents such as resumes, essays, and notices. And there are a lot of programs you can edit your photos with. So you might be wondering why we're using Microsoft Word. There's a couple of reasons. One is it is not a free program, you do have to pay for it, but it is commonly available, and most importantly, we have it on our library computers. So you can come in anytime the library is open and a computer is available and use our library computers, and you will be able to do these things to your photos. I'm not going to go over the basics of Microsoft Word today. We had another class that is also up on YouTube about the basics of Microsoft Word. And I'm just going to get started here. And so if you have a photo, you can have it on your phone, your tablet, your digital camera, or if you have an old photo that's printed that you want to use, you can scan it. And so in this class, we're assuming that you have already done that to your photo, you already have your photo, and you already have it in a form you can use it. I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail how to get your photo so you can put it into Microsoft Word and use it, because there's a lot of ways of doing it. You can email your photo to yourself. I often do that. If your phone or your tablet has an email, that might be the easiest way. If you have a lot of photos you want to download at once, you can attach a cable between your camera or your phone or your tablet into your computer. And some photos will travel automatically via AirDrop or something similar. And it really depends on what devices you have, which is why I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail of that. We're just going to assume for this class that you have a photo that you're ready to go with. And previous to starting the class, I put a photo on my clipboard, and so I will hit paste here in Microsoft Word in the top left and have my photo appear. Okay, so it's a little bit slow, so my photo, there we go. My photo should be appearing in the Microsoft Word now. And because I take this off my iPad, it always comes up upside down. And what you can do here is you can turn it around. So to do anything with your photo in Microsoft Word, you have to tell Microsoft Word that you are working with a photo, this particular photo, so you click inside it. So this works for any image. You have to click inside it. And there is this little thingy to turn it. So I'm going to turn my photo around because I can't work with it upside down. And it's a little bit crooked. And I'll just make it straight. There we go. There is my photo. And the other thing about using the library computers to work with your photos is we have color printers. It is $1 a page currently, August 2020, to print a color photo, but it's generally pretty good quality. So if you look at this, this is how it will print, and at least half of your page will be blank, this blank down here, and you're still paying $1 for it. So what I like to do is make my photo as big as possible on the page and get as big a photo as possible. Or perhaps even you can put more than one in, but I like to make them nice and big. So to make your photo bigger, when I clicked inside it, you would see these little circles appeared. There's 8 of them around your photo. So this is what you use to resize your photo. And just watch, if I click outside it, the photo, they disappear. So to make them reappear, you just click inside the photo, which I did. And you'll observe that if you put your cursor over one of these little circles, arrows appear. At the side, the arrows go side to side. At the top and the bottom, the arrows go up and down. And if you go to a corner, the arrows go diagonally. So if you want to resize your photo and keep the proportions the same, you have to be in a corner. Because if you go to a side here, it will change the proportions of your photo. And the sheep got a little bit short, a little bit fatter there. They are kind of short and fat, but not that short and fat. So if I do it at the bottom, it'll make them really tall and skinny. So I don't really want that. I want to use the corner. So I don't like what happened to this photo. So Microsoft Office Suite, unlike real life, has an undo button. So it's really important you know this. Up here in the top left is the undo button. So I go that, and I've gone one step back, and my pulling the photo down has gone, and I go 2 steps back, and it's back the way it was. Okay, so I can use the corner to make my photo a bit bigger. So I do that, pull it down, I click on it, and I drag it, and you'll observe that some of the photo went off my piece of paper. So if I printed this, this part would be missing, and that's not what I want at this stage. So what I can do is I can also change my piece of paper. This, as you can see, is portrait. This is how you type a letter usually, or a resume or something like that. So first thing I'm going to do is change my piece of paper and turn my piece of paper around. So to do this, you go up to these different menus here, and I'm going to go to Layout, the Layout menu here. And when I click on Layout, you'll see that my menu changes. All these menus up here, if you click on them, you'll get a different set of things you can do. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the orientation of my piece of paper. So I'll click on Orientation here, and you'll see you have 2 choices, Portrait or Landscape. I didn't like Portrait, so I'll go to Landscape. I'll wait a few minutes, and then my piece of paper is Landscape, and this photo fits better. And what I want to do, because if I'm printing a picture I want it as big as possible, I'm also going to change the margins. So I click on Margins, and you see quite a lot of choices, but I'm just going to change my margins to narrow. The normal margins, as you can see, it tells you what it is. It's an inch all around, and an inch all around is generally good for a resume, a letter, schoolwork, essays, and things like that. But I'm going to make it narrow. So I made my margins narrow, and you'll see my photo went further up. So I can make my photo quite big now. So I can go here, go back to the corner to make it bigger and smaller with my proportions the same. Instead, I can also make it smaller if I wanted to put more than one photo on the same page. But I want it to be bigger. I just want to work on this one photo. So I'll go down and so I can see it, and I'll make the proportions, make my photo look bigger, the same proportions, and go just to the edge where there's my ½ inch margin there. Okay, so I have resized my photo and changed the layout of my photo. And so the next thing I want to do, that is pretty common to do with photos, is to crop my photo. And I'm going to move this down out of the way. And I think I'll close that as well, because it's always in the way. The next thing I want to do is crop my photo. And there is a command in Microsoft Word to crop, but it's kind of hidden. That often happens. There's lots of things to click on. Someone says, well, just click on crop and you'll be able to crop. But you have to see it on the screen first. Things move on and off the screen depending on where you've clicked here. And the crop one is kind of a tricky one because it is under Picture Tools. And you can see Picture Tools is written up here. But if I go ahead and click outside my picture, and you see my picture's not highlighted, it doesn't have the dots anywhere, the word Picture Tools has disappeared. You have to have an image highlighted for the words Picture Tools to appear at the top. And so I will click inside my image, and their Picture Tools comes back. And it's like a menu. I will click on Picture Tools, and then I get to see a completely new menu. And you can see there's lots of things in here. There's usually lots and lots of things. The one I'm particularly interested in at the moment is crop. So I'm going to click on crop and wait a few minutes. And then what happens when you click on crop, you get these dark bars, these black bars here. Again, there's 8 of them around the picture at each corner and at the top and at the side. And these are what you crop with. So to crop, it's another click and drag. I want to get this sheep in the background out of my picture. So I move it. If I have the arrow back and forth like that, I am going to be resizing my picture. I want my cursor to look like a bar, and it's kind of maybe a little hard to see, but I need it to be a little bar with an X out. So again, I click and I drag that in to where I want it, and I can sort of go back and forth and think about it and where I want it. And then I click outside the photo and it takes that piece away. So that sheep in the background is now gone from my picture. And again, I clicked outside it, so I have to click inside it to get picture tools back again. So I get picture tools back again, and I can hit crop again, and I can take the fence out. I decided I don't like the fence either, so I can just come down, 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 and take the fence out. And you'll see that it lets you see what you had before too. So I'll just click on that, and I go, oh, there's my sheep. Actually, I did like that fence. So remember, I can undo. So I go back here and I undo, and there's my fence back. And then, oh, actually, I did like that sheep. So I can get her back again, or I can redo. So you can spend a lot of time undoing and redoing. Okay, so there is my picture. It's cropped. So I will crop it. And it actually made my picture smaller, cropping it. It didn't fill up the space available, it just made it smaller. So again, I want my picture to fill up the space available. So I'm going to click in it and drag it to resize it and make it bigger. Okay, and then what I promised in this class was going to look at special effects. So we're still in picture tools, we're inside our picture, and here are the special effects over here. So the first one I'm going to show you is corrections. And they're implying that you have a photo that's not right, you're making it correct, but you could also use this for special effects. This will change the contrast and the brightness. And a good thing about this is you can put your mouse over one of these and your picture will change, but not permanently. So you can have a look, you can see, just to make sure that you can see the difference. That's made it very high contrast and very bright, and the photo looks a bit washed out. But if that's what you wanted for some reason, or your photo was very dark, that would work. Okay, and then I could also make it very dark. There's my photo being very dark. And if you like one of these, you find one as you put your mouse over and you like it, then you click on it. And you can see my photos changed to very, very light and bright. Okay, and again, if I don't like that, I can go back, which I'll do. So the other thing you can do is color here. And again, you can put the mouse over it to see what it looks like. I've now made it a black and white photo, it looks like, and this one looks like an old-fashioned photo because it's a bit faded looking. And you've even got unnatural colors, like you can make it blue. And I thought this one here made it look like an old-fashioned sepia photo, but there is actually one called sepia. And as you go through these, if you really like something, you might want to jot down perhaps what you liked, because they all have names. This is called Gold Accent Color for Dark. If that's the effect you like, you might want to jot it down so you can make sure you get back to it, because there's a lot of different things you can do. You may not be able to get there. Again, this looks like a black and white photo, and yeah, I'm not sure why you'd want to make it green or orange, but if these ones even are makes a special effect, makes it so contrasty it looks black and white, and it makes one of the sheep blend in with the background and go away. So there's all sorts of different effects there. And you can also remove the background. And what this will do is show you what it's removing. So this one's decided it will remove everything that's purple, which looks like it's going to be everything except this one sheep in the foreground here. This is Tulip, this sheep. She was named by the library competition on Facebook. So that is Tulip. And so we will keep changes and see what happens. It takes a little while to do. Yep, see there's Tulip all by herself with no background. And you know, this is sometimes an effect you might see in an ad or in a picture book or something like that. And that isn't what I want this photo to look like in the end, so I'll just go back. There's my original photo. And when you do remove the background, if you thought, well, I actually want all the sheep there, you can change how you do the background removal, because you can mark the areas to remove the background. And because that showed all the purple, I'll go back again, remove background, and then delete mark. So mark areas to remove, and make it a bit bigger. Okay. Okay, and we'll go back. Oops. And back to my original photo. So the one I want to really concentrate on today was artistic effects. So I click on artistic effects, and this is the special effects I was telling you about. Oops, and my computer's being a bit slow. It was too much for it. Okay, artistic effects are loading, and again, my little little thumbnails here are upside down, but you can go through these and see what it looks like. And some of these look pretty cool, I think. So the first one is none, but then we have marker. And to me, it looks like you're looking at through glass. It's a wobbly glass at the sheet, but it's called marker. So again, you can note it down. That one's pencil grayscale, and for some photos that works. I've got a really nice photo of my dog I did like that I printed out. I like that. For this one, to me, the sheep in the middle, who is Pearl, doesn't really look like a sheep anymore, but you might like that. And there's pencil sketch. That one's line drawing. I'm not sure I like that one. And that one just looks blurry. It did blur it. And again, you'll have to play with this, because some photos will look better with some effects and some will look better with others. Depends on exactly on your photo. It depends what you want too. And that one's diffused. So the sheep in the background is glowing. This looks kind of cool. Paintbrush, it didn't change it much. But again, you can see you can go through them all, and it's taking a little while to load. It is a lot for the computer to load. And then I kind of like that one. What's this one called? Cement. Yeah, I kind of like my cement sheet, so I'm going to click on cement. Okay, so I've got it on cement now, and remember now I've got it on this one, and I can still go back and make it lighter or darker if I want. So if I go there, you'll see that it's working now on the photo I changed. So you can see I can make it a bit darker or even lighter. So I can do all sorts of things to my picture. That one looks very cartoonish, this one standing out. So I'll try that. And there is my picture. And again, you can go ahead and put another photo in and do a different one, because you can always do more than one copy. Or there's a couple of ways you can save it and start it. or you can start again. Okay, so for those of you who already know or came to my first Word class, this is called Document One Word, so I have not saved it. So to save it or to print it, if you wanted to print it, you go over to File here, click File, and go Print. And at the library again, I said it was $1, or you can save it and give it a name. And I'll hit on, I'll just show you how quickly to save it. Jump to Save As, because this is the first time we saved it. So we have to choose a place to save it. I'm going to choose the desktop at this point. So that's the place where I save it. And I need to give it a name. Doc 1 is not going to be very informative. And the bit after the doc tells you what sort of document it is. It says it's docx, which means it's a Word document. But I'm going to call this sheet, oops, I'm going to have to spell it right, sheet photo. And it's better to put a no spaces and no special characters in your file names, because sometimes if you save it as a different type of file, it won't cope with it. So it's sheet photo number 1 is what I'm going to call this. And you can see here, I've saved it as a Word document. There's 3 things you need to know to save. One is where you're putting it, a name for it, and what sort of file it is. This is a Word document, and I have a choice here. I can also call it, I can send it, save it as a PDF, which is like a picture. If I wanted to send it to somebody else, they're very likely about to open a PDF and they can't change it. So you have choices about that. So I will just save this one as a Word document on my desktop. Okay, so thank you for coming and watching this today. If you need more help, you can ask the library staff, or we have Universal Class through our digital resources at the library, and I hope to run this class again because I really enjoyed it. Thank you again. Bye-bye. How do I stop? Stop it.